10 years AD. I went for a picnic with Joseph and Mary and the young JC. Nobody brought any Rizzler papers and nobody brought a pipe. And after 14 fucking miles on a donkey, Mary wanted to smoke bad. Little Jesus, he pointed up to the sky and he said, "Hey mom, look, it's a message from Dad." It was a choir of angels singing in the sky, advising Jesus and Mary and Joseph on a new way to get high. They pointed down to the camping stove below. Joseph got the knives out of his carpenter's tool bag. Mary smashed the bottom off a milk bottle. Jesus chopped the resin into tiny pieces, and I looked on in amazement as they did the holy hot knives, and the angels sang. Hot knives are good for you. Hot knives are good for you. Hot knives are good for you. So I sat around and did some hot knives with Jesus and Mary and Joseph and even the donkey. Had a little toke as well. And Joseph got the heated knives. He dabbed on the pieces of resin, squashed the resin between the knives and made everybody high. And Jesus turned all the nearby water into special brew, which was a treat for me. But it was a shame for the fish in the nearby river. So that special brew will rot their livers. It will. There was a choir of angels singing in my head. I could see them floating above me while I was lying in my bed. One of the angels dropped a feather from its wing. I said, "Hey, I'm allergic to feathers. That could give me an asthma attack." But the angels didn't seem concerned. They just started to sing. Hot knives are good for you. 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 23 years later, Jesus and myself was sharing a squat just around the corner from a Manchester road in Jerusalem. We had a set of mates that we laughingly called the Apostles, and they were lovely lads. But one night, one of them, this lad called Judas, he said he was off to the all-night garage. And he says, "Does anybody need any Rizzlers?" And nobody needed any Rizzlers. So off he went. But when he came back, he didn't come alone. When he came back, he didn't come on his own. He brought the drug squad with him. They charged us with possession with intent to enjoy. He brought the DWP with him, who charged us with doing miracles on the side while claiming sickness benefits, which is a very naughty thing to do. Thank you very much, Judas, you grassy little bastard. I don't even know where he is these days. I've heard he's in the Apostle Protection Programme. Anyway, we were sentenced to be crucified, which seemed a bit harsh, especially just for the crime of possession with intent to enjoy. But I wasn't in much of a position to argue while I was nailed upon some wood. And there was a choir of angels in the sky. They flew down in front of me just as I was about to die. One of the angels had some tiny angelic hot knives, and he put the knives together under the cross, and the smoke rose up and I breathed it in. I breathed it in and I was absolved of sin, and everything was looking rather nice, 'cause hot knives are good for